Everyone's wearing a T-shirt saying Kavos fucks Ibiza.
Kavos fucks you.
Kavos fucks me is what the T-shirt should say. It really does. You've got to be strong-willed out here.
You have.
You really have.
Every summer, the Greek resort of Kavos attracts 100,000 young Brits in the hope of having the time of their lives.
The aim of the holiday was just to pull a few birds, maybe shag 3 or 4, maybe 5 at a push.
Here, they escape their parents and the daily grind to party to the point of getting hospitalized.
What happens in Kavos stays in Kavos. You don't want anybody to know what you've done here.
In this series, the holidaymakers tell us why they're flocking here in their thousands.
Now, because our generation has got it so crap, we need to go out and let our hair down.
Everybody's fucking anything that moves.
With intimate access to the resort workers,
Kavos is getting laid and getting paid.
the tourists, and the locals that pick up the pieces.
We actually play the role of their family abroad.
I want my mom there. Oh my God, I'm going to die!
Prepare yourselves for the complete, uncensored story of life in a very modern paradise.
Kavos, baby, 2010!
My mother is absolutely gonna kill me.
In tonight's episode, booze, Kavos style. We meet the young holidaymakers who come here to party hard on the infamous Strip.
In Kavos, we start drinking about 2 in the afternoon and just go on to about 7 in the morning.
Where the bars and clubs compete to get their customers as drunk as possible.
They just take 3 spirits, they take a vodka and
Sambuca
and some snaps, and they just turn it upside down. They just keep pouring it in.
It's amazing.
It's yummy.
Even the staff, even I end up fucking off my face come 4 o'clock in the morning and I haven't even finished work.
But the heady mix of limitless alcohol, no parents and no rules can have serious consequences.
No, how much have you drunk? It wasn't by 4. I thought you could be
Every week, several thousand new Brits come to Kavos on the island of Corfu, hoping for the holiday of a lifetime.
Kavos, here we come.
New arrivals Dan and Danny are Party Island veterans.
Ibiza, Mallorca, Thailand.
We've been all over Thailand.
But this year, they've decided to try a new destination.
We booked a week prior to coming out.
Before coming out here. It was very sort of spontaneous.
Yeah, just called each other up. I hadn't seen Dan for 2 months. And he said, "Do you fancy a holiday?" So
he was always like, yeah, of course. A bit of sun,
sunshine, cheap weather, women.
Yeah, women.
And Kavos seemed to tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
On their first night, the boys head for Kavos' Strip, a mile-long party zone of pubs and clubs dedicated to drinking.
I just come out of a very long-term relationship, 4.5 years, and I just need to let off some steam, you know, so it was kind of, I was sort of saying to Dan, right, we've got to go away, we're going away, wasn't it?
Despite being a generation older than most of the tourists, they quickly embrace the holiday spirit.
It's going to get crazy, I know it's going to get crazy, but it's awesome, man.
Two weeks before flying out to Kavos, Dan struck up an online friendship with a woman on TripAdvisor. They're meeting up for the first time here in Kavos.
Found out I was going to the same hotel, and they're like 2 rooms away from us as well.
42-year-old Malita is holidaying here with 22-year-old Carly.
It's the atmosphere just makes you want to...
Yeah, just go crazy and join in with everyone else. Yeah.
We've been here 4 nights so far, and we've been out into the Strip, and we've come back absolutely hammered, haven't we, every time.
Many of the tourists flock to Kavos to escape their parents. Although Carly and Melita appear to be typical girls on tour, things aren't quite what they seem.
It's shocking when people find out that we are actually mother and daughter. Sometimes, like, we pretend and we're like, yeah, we're just friends, or yeah, we're sisters, and then like,
but then we go, no, we're not. And then they're like, no, you're joking.
Having met up with Dan and Danny, the group celebrate their newfound friendship with a well-established Kavos ritual.
We heard about this melon drink.
The melon drink,
It's 28 shots of...
Oh, you rounded up to 30?
Well, so I rounded it up to 30 because I thought I had 28.
As if 28 wasn't enough.
Even numbers.
The watermelon cocktail is just €40. With alcohol so cheap, the holiday makers can drink way beyond their normal limits.
Between the four of us, we had 12 vodka and cokes. We had 8 Malibu and cokes.
How many shots?
58.
58 shots.
12 cocktails.
40-odd vodkas.
Between the four of us. They loved it, didn't they? They absolutely loved it.
It's 3 hours since the couples first met, and Mum Melita is beginning to fade.
I got a bit too drunk. I passed out a couple of times.
It was funny.
I know.
Even veteran clubber Dan appears to have hit the buffers.
One minute I was fine, and I said to Danny, I said, look, I'm not feeling good. I'm starting to feel it, and I fell on the floor. And I stood back up and said, look, can you just get me out of here?
First start of the strip, it's all got a bit beat on.
Concerned for his friend, Danny tries to encourage Dan to go home, but he's eager to continue drinking.
I'm trying to take him back to the hotel now, but when someone's drunk, they're a bit of a liability.
Melita's also in a bad way, so Danny takes both girls home, leaving Dan to his own devices. "30 minutes later, Danny returns to the strip, only to find that Dan has disappeared.
Yeah, and then when he come back, I'd gone. I have no recollection at all. No recollection at all.
Dan is discovered unconscious in a side street, and a call goes out to the emergency clinic. The heavy drinking ensures that Kavos Emergencies has a steady stream of patients all summer. They charge €70 a visit. Often the cost has to be met by the tourists because the insurance companies won't cover self-inflicted injuries.
It is like a war zone in Kavos sometimes.
This is a bit like being in a busy A&E on a Friday night every day of the week.
Stress, noise.
Yeah!
People which are afraid, they're first time abroad.
It's like trying to do a surgical procedure in the middle of a nightclub.
I'm not good with pain, but this is ridiculous.
Dr. Kostas is the clinic's A&E specialist.
Hello? Hello? When we received that call, I didn't have much information to know what was going on. I didn't know if he was bleeding, injured, head injury, if he just was drunk. There is always a certain sense of fear.
He doesn't seem to have any major trauma. He's just drunk, I think. Περίμενε.
Every year we have, let's say, 3-4 cases for which we can definitely say that this is not alcohol. This is alcohol mixed with something else.
We brought you here in the surgery. Do you remember me finding you in that alley a couple of minutes ago? Yeah, okay.
You know when you're drunk or if you've kind of been spiked or had a dodgy drink. As I say, we've travelled a lot and we've drunk a lot and we've been on sessions, big sessions.
Do you want to be sick? Eh?
Dr. Costas is concerned that Dan's drink may have been spiked, so he keeps him in overnight for observation. It's not the return to his youth that Dan might have wanted, but for the teenagers here, the drinking continues, oblivious of the consequences.
They are, all of them, without parents. They are free to do whatever they want. For some of them, it's their first time abroad, and they tend to forget basic principles.
"19-year-old Nikki has just been brought into the clinic after falling 15 feet from a DJ booth.
I don't feel like I can stand right now.
Resort worker Zach witnessed the accident.
When I seen her land, the first thing that's going through my head was she's snapped her neck, she's going to be paralysed, she might be dead. It was very scary.
Well, yeah, I'll stay with you.
Oh my God, it really hurt. I'm freaking out.
Just breathe. Just try and relax.
I can't. I feel like I can't breathe.
It's because you're going through a shock. Honestly, just sit back. Just chill. You need it. But you're okay. You will be, honestly. The worst thing to do is to panic.
It's Nikki's first holiday without her parents, and before Zach stepped in, he was a total stranger.
All of her mates were too drunk to really care, to be honest.
Yeah, like, the freaking me out thing is, like, not having anyone here that I know. Like, he's just kind of like some guy that's being nice. I'm here with my sister, but we kind of had a, like, falling out, and she's in the apartment tonight on her own, and I'm out, like, partying with my friends.
There is a high possibility that she had a fracture in the spine. The worst case in a spine injury is neurologic problems or paralysis to the legs.
The doctors are concerned that Nikki may have broken her back.
You will go to the State Health Center for an X-ray, though.
Oh my God.
Now, okay? I've just called them.
The thing with young people is that before the accident happens to them, they come here and they think everything is jolly, everything is fantastic. This whole atmosphere makes you have the mentality that I'm invincible. But when the unfortunate event happens, they're quite petrified.
We do me a favour. I don't expect you to be here, like, with me. We're going to get my sister. Yeah. She's going to freak out, but I need
Do you have her phone number, maybe? No, it's okay.
I need her, like, right now, because I'm freaking out.
I'll go right now.
Run.
In ancient times, Corfu was home to the great philosophers. Now, it's a mecca for teenage holidaymakers, where the mix of cheap alcohol and no parents can end in tears.
Went down the stairs, it was slippery. Douche. I wasn't even pissed.
There was a nail sticking about that much off the ground. It went straight into my foot.
Kavos fell on me.
Did it hurt a lot at the time?
Oh, I don't know, I was pissed.
It's 5 a.m. 19-year-old shop assistant Nikki was brought to the clinic an hour ago with suspected spinal injuries after falling off a podium.
Oh my God, it really hurt. I'm freaking out.
She's on holiday without her parents and has been brought here by Zach, a stranger.
I need my sister.
Right, okay.
I need her, like, right now, because I'm freaking out.
I'll go right now.
Run.
He was banging on the door and just shouting Nikki's in hospital. It was very surreal. I felt instantly sick. I didn't know what to do. He just said she's in hospital and she's fell off something quite high. So at this point I was crying, couldn't think straight. Just had to see my sister as soon as I found out what had happened.
I just need like my family or friend. Yeah.
The people that you treat who come in terrible shape, they are panicking, they are teenagers.
I want to go home now.
An hour later, Nikki's sister Amy finally arrives at her bedside.
It wasn't my fault. Some guy pushed me off. How much have you drunk? I'm not drunk. I'm not even that drunk. It's the fat point, is it though, Nikki? It wasn't my fault.
Nikki had just been out an hour before, so I believe she was still drunk. You could smell the alcohol on her. So at that point, she was fine. It's crazy how confident, and it just went over her head, really.
I'm gonna be fine. Oh, do you know you've not even had an X-ray?
It was awful to see her that way and to not know properly what was wrong with her, so... Yeah.
I'm gonna be fine. Oh, please tell me that's it.
Even a small fracture at that point, when walking on it, can open up and evolve to something more severe.
Both sisters are off to the state hospital to discover the extent of Nikki's injuries.
Thank you so much. Honestly, you are like the nicest boy.
I wouldn't have let my sister dance on a bar. I would have not let her get up there, which hurt me more because I wasn't there, so I instantly felt guilty for not being there, yeah.
If the results are bad, Nikki's holiday will almost certainly be over. But for others, the party is just beginning. "20-year-old supermarket worker Charlie is here with 3 friends. It's their first lads' holiday.
We've heard the phrase, what happens in Kavos stays in Kavos, and I think we have to abide by that.
Charlie is joined by insurance salesman Tom.
I do lots of weird dancing. Usually look like I piss myself because I usually spill my drink all over my crotch.
Making up the group are 2 hopeless romantics. Lewis.
He's a bit of a leech, Lewis is. If he sees a girl, he'll just sort of hump their leg until they decide to have sex with him.
And plumber Zach.
The strip is just a massive clunge fest.
Charlie and his friends are starting their night out in Scorers on the strip. They're keen to try a local delicacy.
The head fucker, you get that in one of the clubs down the strip. It's a pint glass, and I think it's 10 different spirits, and it does taste grim.
The €3 cocktail is often followed by a laughing gas chaser.
Laughing gas is awesome. It just doesn't last long enough. It just puts you in a little buzz, makes everything feel like you're in a bubble.
Laughing gas is banned from bars and festivals in Britain as it's potentially dangerous. But in Kavos, it's a standard part of the evening.
Personally, laughing gas, it's not for me. I reckon that's for your 17, 18-year-old.
Most partygoers inhale it in one hit. Charlie prefers to apply his own unique twist. But tonight, his party trick has backfired, rather painfully.
One of the lads had an accident after doing laughing gas. He fell down. We were all like, way, because he looked fine. You know, he got up smiling, he was laughing. Then all of a sudden, this blood just started streaming out the back of his head.
I was really worried about Charlie at first because there was a lot of blood, and I just rushed him to the medical centre as quickly as possible.
Didn't really know what was going on. I knew it hurt my head from people telling me, but I can't see it because it's on the back. It was only till a doctor had a look at me and told me what was going on that you kind of realise what's happened.
Hey, what's your name?
Charlie, mate.
Charlie, what happened, Charlie?
Laughing gas.
Laughing gas?
Fell over.
And just fell over?
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, when did it happen? Just now?
Literally, like 1 minute ago.
Just now. All right, Charlie, come with me. Maybe a few stitches. I'll just clean it up. They inhale the laughing gas and then they spin around. Obviously, when someone does that, can fall down. And then they're not laughing anymore. It will need a few sutures. Yes, definitely.
When you inhale laughing gas, which is a deep anesthesia, a medical gas, and you consume large amount of alcohol, you potentially expose yourself to great dangers. I'm really scared of the moment somebody will call me to tell me he just made the balloon and he turned blue, because I really don't know what to do.
Oh, I don't like a scar.
That's quite... Mate, it's in your hair. It's not, that's quite a big... That's a very big cut.
Stitches. Yes. I would suggest you not to do laughing gas.
No,
again.
Not again.
I think it's not good for you.
You should see me yesterday. Even worse.
Back on the strip, the alcohol keeps flowing, promoted by the PRs for the bars that are competing for customers.
We do a pint of head fucker. It varies from 2 to 5 shots for €5. It's like 2 small cocktails or a big pint. People will have about 12, 13 drinks. Add up all the shots as well, that's about 40 shots or something. It's a lot.
Nobody knows you're out here, does it? So even if you do get drunk and make an idiot of yourself.
Oh well, I'm gone next week. You won't see me
we won't see him again, so.
At the other end of the strip, a night of excess has come to an abrupt end for 19-year-old Ross from Leeds.
I was on the night out on the strip, just having a few drinks with the lads. The aim of the holiday was just to pull a few birds, maybe shag 3 or 4, maybe 5 at a push. Had about 6 or 7 head fuckers, and I think that's the reason the accident happened, really. Just a bit embarrassing, really, because 3 days into my holiday and I'm already making a tit out myself.
Ross works in McDonald's, and it's his first time away from his family.
It was a scary experience, definitely. I mean, abroad by myself for the first time. What's going to happen from here? Am I going to have to ring my mum or dad?
So, Ross, what happened?
Mate pushed me off the curb, it was horrible. He gave me a little shove and I went stumbling. Lost my balance completely.
There's a big lump here.
The medics can't be sure how serious the injury is, because the clinic doesn't have an X-ray machine.
I actually can't tell if you have a fracture or it's just a sprain. Obviously, you need a cast, you need a pair of crutches, not to walk on it.
I've broken the ankle 7 times, it's awful.
7 times?
7. Fuck my foot up again.
As Ross reflects on his fate, he gets a sharp reminder of his earlier activities.
We Greeks come in contact with alcohol at a very young age. We know how to control our liquor, rather than having the liquor controlling us. The last time I was drunk, that's a hard one. I think it was in 1986.
At 1 a.m., Ross attempts to get back to the party.
I need a wheelchair or something. It's on pattern.
On your right foot only.
But he's too drunk to go home. And the medics decide he's better off staying the night in the clinic.
Another day in paradise.
In a cubicle next door, Charlie is finally getting his head stitched.
One more, last one. He didn't seem to be in a lot of pain. One reason is that maybe the laughing gas is a local anesthetic as well.
With his friends waiting patiently outside, he's discharged from the clinic.
And, of course, no more laughing gas. No. You've learned the lesson. You have fallen how many times?
How many times?
Twice?
I've been all that about 10 times.
10 times?
10 times.
You're unbelievable.
Armed with a handful of painkillers, Charlie gets back to the strip.
No more laughing gas! No more! No!
Against doctors' suggestions, but I did go out and carry on drinking.
Fix it, you give me a drink.
It was to help the pain, that's what it was.
An hour after having his head stitched up, Charlie celebrates the end of the night with another of his party tricks.
So I seemed to find them tasty.
Mate, what school did you go to? Because the sex education was really fucking shit.
Next, the doctors discover the extent of Nikki's injury.
You have hurt your spinal cord.
I just don't know what to do. She instantly broke down and started crying.
And violence breaks out on the strip.
Summer night.
It's 7 a.m. and the revelers are heading to their beds after a hard night's drinking.
Summer night. I held you tight, you and I.
At the end of the night, the strip is a mess, but like, it's not down to us to clean it, so it doesn't really bother us.
Cups everywhere, rubbish, everything, and then obviously the next day it's all gone, so it's like nothing's ever happened.
One summer night.
Συνήθως λίγο έτσι τον εμετώ.
Summer night. I held you close.
They put their pants down. They saw the bumps to people on the street. What can you do?
It's a clash of cultures and generations. Last night, 19-year-old McDonald's worker Ross passed out after hurting his ankle. Unsure whether the ankle is broken, the doctors put Ross's leg in a cast and let him sleep things off.
I wake up, there's a drip of dextrose in my hand. I'm like, how's that even got in there? I was just confused more than anything. I couldn't see any of the lads.
Ross doesn't want to pay for further treatment, so he ignores the doctor's advice to get his foot x-rayed in the hospital.
I was just wondering, like, when am I getting out of here? How much money do I have to pay them now? Because I was drunk at the time. And I was just really confused about the whole thing.
20 minutes before each meal.
Yeah, that's fine.
3 for today and 1 for tomorrow morning.
Sure.
Okay. I want you to rest. Okay. Now let's see the work.
He's sent away under strict instructions to rest or risk further complications. "30 miles away, Nikki is arriving at the state hospital after a night's partying ended with her falling off a podium. The priority for the emergency team is to test her reflexes, to gauge if the impact to her spine has damaged her central nervous system.
Okay, I want you to remove your fingers like this. Okay, can you do this?
While Nikki is taken for X-ray, her sister Amy calls their mother.
Mum, can you hear me? Did you hear what I said? It was awful. They got the call. Sorry. I just don't know what to do. She instantly broke down and started crying.
The doctor says he's advised. I explained that we didn't know what was wrong with her. She couldn't physically move or walk.
Without their parents here, it's up to the sisters to support each other.
You know what I'm like? Accident freaking prone.
Well then, why were you stood on something so high? Glad you're so calm and collected about it all. Our relationship is very close, but we're just very different. I think it's more because I'm a bit older than her. I'm the sensible one. Nikki's the crazy one.
Whatever that injection was, it did me good because I can't feel my body at all. See what I mean? I can't even feel my hands. You just got to make the best of it.
Make the most of what, Nikki?
Well, you ain't in the hospital. Emergency.
Stop swearing.
Right, get arse all you want. I ain't really worried, but...
No, I can tell you're not worried, Nikki.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Yeah, go back to sleep then.
Dry.
Despite her apparent optimism, Nikki's condition is potentially critical. She spent the last 12 hours waiting to find out whether she's broken her spine.
You have hurt your spinal cord. There is a little fracture and you need to stay at the hospital.
With rest and a spinal brace, Nikki's injuries should heal within 3 months.
And it's only a little fracture, but I've got to stay here definitely today. It just happens. Things happen.
Yeah, to you they do. I hope you bloody learnt from this. I'm telling you.
No more bar standing for me, that's for sure.
Why would you stand on bar?
It wasn't just me, it was like 3 other people.
As night falls, the party returns to the strip. And another teenager is about to discover he's not invincible. Earlier in his holiday, 19-year-old Ross badly injured his ankle. It was put in a cast, but against doctors' advice, he's decided to remove it.
The doctor said they were 90% sure it's broken, but I've been walking on it around the pool and stuff, and I thought it's just a sprain, and they were just trying to scam me for more money, really, so I just had it taken off.
Obviously, he wanted to take his cast off because he wanted to go out and have a good time, party on, pull the girls. I think he believed with the cast on, this would hinder his chances with the girls.
I just want to go out with the lads, pull some birds, shag about like a top lad does, and just enjoy myself for the rest of the 2 weeks.
Obviously, his penis was more important than his ankle.
Ross has been too drunk to feel the pain in his leg, and now suspects his injury might be more serious.
I could tell that it wasn't a sprain after the first 3 or 4 days. The pain was still there.
In the early hours of the morning, Ross returns to the clinic to see Dr. Costas.
I told you, it wasn't looking good. You ignored that completely. Why?
He decided that there was no injury. He decided that we were exaggerating. He decided that we were over-treating him.
What do you want to do now? Do you want to put it back on cast? Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
He may have escaped a costly medical bill, but Ross could end up paying a much higher price in the future.
Can you move it upwards? Try to flex it upwards. It doesn't. It won't. In my opinion, it is broken. Most probably.
Basically, I was just thinking, you're an idiot. You should have had the pot kept on. I just thought that I knew better, obviously, when I don't. I haven't got a medical degree, and I'm not smarter than the doctor, obviously. He knew what he was talking about, and I didn't.
Are you going to take it off again?
No. I'm sorry I went against your advice. I should have listened in the first place.
Obviously, when you are 19, you think you are invincible.
All right, here you go, Ross.
Ross's night has ended early. But it's only 2 a.m. and there are still hundreds of people out drinking. The party's in full swing as the local police make their nightly visit.
What's weird is, like, on the strip as well, when the music's banging, all the music just stops, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and then you obviously see the police car drive through, don't you? And it's like, for some reason, they're not going to play music after a certain time or something weird like that.
Under Greek law, it's illegal to play music after 2 in the morning.
It's strange, everyone's dancing and suddenly it's just like...
Massive uproar, like, no!
Yeah, everyone's just like, boo!
As soon as they're gone, it's like, yeah,
pranked it.
They must know.
As the police drive out of town, they're given a Kavos-style send-off.
That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast! That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast! That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast!
The drinking continues into the small hours, when the mood on the strip can change instantly.
People get too drunk, they get aggressive.
I've witnessed and I've been told about people getting hit with glass bottles in a fight, which is dirty. But yeah, it happens all the time.
I've seen the guys that have like just gone up to random guys, punched them, and the security pulled them away, and then they've gone and punched someone else for no reason.
Sometimes also you see that happening between boys within the same group.
Tonight, a group of friends have had a fight in their hotel room after a night of heavy drinking.
Every door had like blood squirted on it. There was that much blood.
All the way down corridors, all on walls, all the way downstairs.
20-year-old Chris tried punching his way through a glass door and has now been brought to the clinic.
He had a very, very bad injury on a finger.
I'll fight you now, yeah. I'll kill you. I don't want now to do.
No! What's wrong with you?
Sit on the bed then.
What's wrong with you?
He's drunk. He's drunk.
He was so aggressive and agitated. His friends were fighting him because he didn't want any treatment.
Listen, Chris, you have to wise up.
Look at you. You're a doctor. Are you stupid? You work in Kavos. Take it off. You're brave. Some respect you. Okay?
There are some times that you question why you are doing this. The patients are sometimes very difficult, but those people depend on you. They rely on you. If you don't do anything, no one will. No one will. So you can't let them down.
Next, Nikki flies home to face her parents.
They get absolutely out their heads. There's no way they can control what they're doing. They're absolutely hammered, don't they? If our Nikki comes through and says, I'm gutted, I've come home,
I'll kill her.
And Chris is operated on by Dr. Myron.
I think I'm going to put a skin graft.
From where?
From where?
My ass.
No, the skin on your ass. It's very thick to be fair.
For the thousands of young people holidaying here for the first time without their parents, Kavos' never-ending supply of cheap alcohol is a license to excess. Friendships are quickly formed, but also put to the test. Chris arrived at Kavos Emergencies last night after a fight with his friends left him with a severely lacerated finger.
All I remember is that I was pissed and then got back to the hotel and then I don't know how I somehow managed to punch the window.
The 20-year-old came in drunk and refusing treatment.
I'll fight you now, yeah. I'll kill you. Some respect you.
All legs.
We just had to leave him just while he was asleep, just covering his own blood.
I stayed there all night. I couldn't go to sleep without knowing if he was all right or not. I'm lucky to have mates like these on holiday with me, because if I was with other people who might have just said, oh, fuck you, whatever, and just left me. My first fucking day. The next morning when I realised what I'd done to the doctors and stuff, felt like a cock, yeah. I wish it had never happened. First lad's holiday, I'm going to lose my fucking finger.
It's a difficult wound to treat, so the case is given to Dr. Myron, the clinic's plastic surgeon.
So I was happy that I met this fellow at 7 o'clock in the morning. He was very calm. I couldn't believe what they told me about the previous night.
I know I've got a big cut there, I can feel that, but it's just numb.
It's numb?
I can't feel it, yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to have to lose my fucking end of my finger.
Chris's job is dependent on the use of his hands.
I'm a bricklayer, so it's manual work. It's going to be hard to grab a trowel or anything.
He's a builder. He doesn't plan to go to university. If he gets an infection and if they have to amputate, how he will be able to sustain himself for the next 12 months, not to talk about the next 60 years. Are you right-handed?
Yeah.
That's the most important finger. The bad news is that you are missing 30% of the skin of the finger. I think I'm going to put a skin graft.
From where?
From where?
My ass?
No, the skin on your ass. It's very thick to be fair. I will take some skin probably from here, which is thin,
and then I just cover.
And,
First, Chris's finger needs to be prepped with a local anaesthetic.
I know.
What the fuck? Not good. Fucking hell.
Sorry.
He's cut his hand in several places and needs 36 stitches.
I know. I know.
It's alright.
Now, this graft to take on needs to be quite thin, and hopefully we're going to have uptake of the graft.
In order for the graft to work, the new skin needs to take, or there's a strong chance Chris could lose his finger.
It will be either pink, either black. If it is black, yes.
If it's black, what, I'm dead.
Chris will return to the clinic in 3 days' time to check on his progress.
In his head, 50-50, I'll have to go pink or I'll have to go black. And if it went black, he'd have to get his finger cut off.
Cheers. See you.
Over in Corfu town, 19-year-old Nikki has had to cut her holiday short after fracturing her spine.
Been on the phone to my dad. I said, Nikki wants to stay, and he went, no chance, bring her home. So we're definitely going home. Everyone wants her home. I believe I've grown and definitely learned from this experience, and we'll see if we come on holiday again, just me and my sister.
No, it's a good story though. Remember that time I broke my back in Kavos?
Did you take enough?
Feels nice.
While the sisters prepare to board their flight, Mum and Dad wait anxiously back in Manchester.
We're so happy it's nothing really, really serious. We're just grateful for that. If Arnicky comes through and says, I'm gutted, I've come home.
I'll kill her.
They get absolutely out their heads. Yeah. There's no way they can control what they're doing. They're absolutely hammered, don't they? It's just unfortunate. It happened to Nicky, didn't it? Let's hope it never happens again. Probably a bit last too. Nicky!
Nikki is back home safely, but she now has to face the fury of her parents.
You made a right mess of yourself, hadn't you? You could have killed yourself.
But he just
worried.
Accidents. It's just one of them things.
God's sake, Nicky.
Back in Kavos, 19-year-old Ross's holiday is also ending.
Best holiday ever. All the lads have shagged, everyone's shagged, we've had a good time. Best holiday ever.
For many of the thousands of young people who come here every summer, the heavy drinking helps make Kavos the holiday of a lifetime.
Memories takeaway is just
getting off your nut and just really having it out and just going for it.
It's been absolutely mental, the things we've got up to. It's unbelievable.
It's been so fun, just drunk constantly.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't recommend a night out on the strip not drinking. I couldn't do it. It's too warm not to drink. You need to hydrate yourself, even if it is alcohol. Just need to just relax, basically, have a few drinks and just chill.
Next week, we discover that the most badly behaved people in Kavos aren't the tourists, but the young Brits who spend their summer here as workers.
All the workers just fuck like rabbits, pretty much.
Workers, I'd say, are a lot worse than tourists, and they're all in tally with each other, aren't they? Like, who's slept with the most girls, who's done this.
But being in Kavos for the whole season comes at a price.
It's like the cool thing in Kavos. Kavos chlamydia is the way forward, apparently. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Never ever mess with the network. Dark and Dangerous, our brand new drama, tomorrow night on 4. The conspiracy thriller Utopia is at 10. Next tonight, breathing new life into the world with the shrilling sound of active labour. One Born on the way.